The Mesa Chamber of Commerce Inside Business Podcast brings you a unique view of Mesa through its vibrant business community and the subjects that are important. The podcast is produced in the Mesa Chamber of Commerce Media Studio, sponsored by the University of Phoenix. Please enjoy this episode of the Mesa Chamber Inside Business Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Inside Business Podcast with the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. I am Bob Nelson, Director of Communications here at the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, and I'm your host for today's episode. Joining me, we are excited, because this is going to be a good conversation, to have Jaret Carlson with AlphaTech. AlphaTech? Is it just AlphaTech?
Computer Solutions, technically.
Computer Solutions? Yeah. Okay. So AlphaTech Computer Solutions is joining me. Jaret, welcome.
Thanks. Hi, Bob.
So, all right, let's kind of level set for everybody, just to kind of give us a place to start with. Tell us about you.
Yeah.
Like, the person.
Well, one, I'm a hardcore gamer. I love video games.
What's your primary game right now?
My primary game right now is Dota 2. So
see you.
most people probably haven't heard of that.
I'm World of Warcraft still. So
I still like World of Warcraft,
old.
but yeah. But so I got into gaming when I was really young, which got me into computers really young. I've had a computer since the 80s. Professionally started doing IT in the mid 90s, and so I've been doing it ever since. Decades.
What was your first computer?
It was an Atari 800 computer.
Yeah, proud of you. Proud of you.
I had DOS 1.0 on a cartridge.
That's fantastic.
So.
We had a Commodore 64 for a while with the modem.
Yeah.
Where you would,
Yeah, I used to dial right to my friends' houses, and we would play games together and stuff. Yeah. I had a Commodore Colt. It was the first IBM compatible Commodore that I had.
Did you ever have the tape deck?
Yeah, I had Frogger on cassette tape, actually.
Cassette tape?
Yeah. 45 minutes. It's like,
okay.
okay.
Take it to load.
Yeah, start loading the game. Okay, I'm going to go outside and play.
Be back a little bit. Oh, it's done where you can play.
Well, I just watched a video yesterday of somebody sending an email in 1984.
Yeah.
And the 30 steps they had to go through to send an email. And I was just, man, people don't realize how lucky they have it now.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us how that over time transitioned itself to bring you to be with you are AlphaTech, really.
Yeah. I mean, there's 5 of us, but so I just love computers. My dad is actually, or was, a cop and a Vietnam veteran Marine, and he always instilled in me help the weak, help people, and I like helping people. So, and people need a lot of help with technology. So that got me really excited that I wanted to go into law enforcement. My mom said that she would disown me. So this is the next best thing I could do. I'm kind of like a computer police,
IT guy.
Yeah.
I can't be a cop. I'm an IT guy.
Yeah. I mean, we're combating criminals all the time for people. So
and we're actually going to talk a little bit about that. I'm because I know offline we have talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about AlphaTech's IT journey, because AlphaTech's not new, right?
Yeah, we started in 2008.
Yeah. So talk about that journey from when you founded it to where it is today.
Yeah. It started, since I've been doing it since the 90s, managed services wasn't really a thing back then, and it was all break fix. So you just call us, we pay us by the hour, we help you out. And I did that when I started the company. 2013, I started offering managed services, and then we re-envisioned that again just more recently in the last 3 years, and now we're like managed services plus. So we're doing like vulnerability scans, penetration testing, all the email security, basically all the security you can think of and need at a business. Before it was very piecemeal. It was like you get antivirus, we watch over your computers, we monitor them, and that was about it. And now we're kind of the next iteration. So we have about 260 standards that we want our customers to adhere to. We have a person that comes out on site once a month to make sure we're meeting all those standards, and then I meet with them every quarter, and we do a VCIO meeting. So it's really evolved. It's evolved, and we're very involved with our customers. Yeah.
So that's a great segue right into cybersecurity, because it's massive right now, right?
It's huge.
It's all over the place. Talk about some of the things right now that businesses need to be like paying attention to when it comes to cybersecurity that maybe they don't necessarily need to call you guys to deal with, but they really should be paying attention to.
They should be focused on it. Yeah. I mean, one of the low-hanging fruits is keeping your employees informed, training your employees. It's such an easy thing to do, and developing good habits in your employees. Like, most cyber crimes happen because of a person made a mistake. So the more you can coach your employees and keep them on track, the better you're protected. But most people don't realize this, but I hate to call it an industry, but cyber crime is going to make $10.5 trillion estimated this year alone worldwide. So it's a business. People are out there. They're forming companies to attack people. It's insane.
So so talk a little bit about those, how AlphaTech has kind of positioned itself, because obviously you've changed, right?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
As the threats have changed.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about some of the things that you offer to kind of counter some of these new age threats. And
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
Like that.
So like before, it used to just be you have an antivirus, and you think you're safe. So now it's email security, penetration testing, vulnerability scanning, keeping all the patches up on all the computers. Helping. We offer employee awareness training. So we send out a video every month. It's about 3 to 4 minutes. They answer a question for the employees, and it's on business email communications and what to spot and how to be careful. We do simulated phishing attacks and just locking down the systems, just going through them and making sure that all the settings are proper. Like, are your screens locking when you walk away from your computer for a short period of time? And are strong passwords? No one's sharing usernames and passwords. And so actually, passwords is a big one. We just started supplying a password manager to our clients because we were tired of seeing sticky notes on desks with passwords and under keyboards and stuff. And yeah, so I mean, really, I know that's a long answer to the question. Email is 90% of cyber crimes happens over email. So really, just getting the email protected is one of the biggest things.
You will do on-site training, right?
Yeah, we don't really offer like a teaching kind of thing. Yeah. We're not really doing like training. But we are constantly coaching. If that's we don't have like an official like everybody pile into a room and we do like a training class. But it's more like a coaching. We normally coach the C levels and help them trickle it down to the staff.
So most of the organizations that you work with, and we're gonna start to transition a little bit, but this question kind of fits here too. Yeah. So most of the organizations that you're working with right now are how big? What's your average customer size?
Our smallest are around 10, and then our biggest are around 100, with the average being like 40 to 50 employees.
And do they have their own IT like person or infrastructure? Like when you're walking in, are you dealing with, okay, we are now kind of the de facto IT guy, or what's that?
Yeah, we do both. So we have it to where we're basically their full-time IT department. So we're doing everything up to the C level. Like I said, we do VCIO for them. So I'm coming in as a virtual chief information officer and coaching their business on how to use their technology. But we also do co-manage. So we have a couple clients that are right around 100 or a little bit more, and they normally do have one full-time IT person. But we allow them to use our full stack. They have admin rights into all of our software, so they can see the tools, use the tools along with us, and we just work alongside them. It's nicer when it's a larger organization because my keyboard's not working. They could run right over and take care of it. Sure. So it helps out. Yeah.
So in managed IT services, which is kind of where I'm driving right now, that is that a growing piece for the business? Is that something that you've always kind of considered yourself? Or
well, before we were break fix, so you called us if there was a problem, we fixed it by the hour, and then we were done. So now it's way more proactive, way more hand holding, and our customers see us as another department. Right. So we're not just like a line item expense. We are part of the company. Yeah, we are their department. Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
So so if we've got somebody listening to this, and they're a small shop owner, or they're 1 or 2 person operation, what pitfalls are you going to say? Hey, look for these pitfalls and avoid them before you fall into them and have to call somebody for help.
Yeah, so if you always plan on staying a 1 or 2 person shop, it's a little easier. But if you plan on growing your company and scaling up, you really need to focus on products that are scalable. So like, don't use residential email accounts. Get Microsoft 365 or Google Business apps, and actually get something that's going to scale with the company as it grows. Too often we see people getting away with just running and getting residential equipment and trying to use that, but it's not as robust. It doesn't have the security updates. It's just not a good thing to do. We see that pitfall all the time. People think, oh, well, it's cheap. But with technology, you definitely get what you pay for, and you want business level equipment, software. Find systems for your business too. Line of business software. I've seen that revolutionize companies where they're trying to do everything on Excel spreadsheets or Word documents, and then they get a full-on CRM system that can track all their jobs, their costs, their employees, and it just helps them scale up bigger, better, faster. Mm-hmm. So it's good.
So what are some thoughts on that, on the idea of scalability in relation to, hey, we're 2 people, right, today?
Yeah.
A year from now, maybe we're 4 or we're 6. And what are the first things that you think, okay, let's invest in this because this is going to benefit us at that point?
Email security. Okay. I can't say that enough. Yeah. Email security. But really, like 1 to 5 users is kind of like a nice little bucket. You can kind of still do it yourself, just watch YouTube videos, learn on your own, have somebody who's tech savvy in the company and keep a grasp on things. But as you start to grow, it gets out of control really fast. So like 10 to 20 users is another threshold. You want to start thinking about getting a server or using some kind of cloud-based identity management and security in place. And as you start getting to like 40, 50 users, things get really out of control. You start losing track of who's got what computer, has left the building. So like inventory management and just really keeping everything organized. And once you start to get towards around 20 employees, you need to start thinking about actual real policies in place, like documentation, training, all that kind of fun stuff.
And you guys are there for all that, right?
Yeah, we help with all
organizations that'll do that.
Yep.
Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about AI, because I know you and I have talked about AI a lot. Talk about it. Let's start level set a little bit. Like, when did AI kind of introduce itself to the mix, and kind of where are we at?
A couple years ago, it got really popular when ChatGPT really took off. A lot of people think it's a genie in a bottle. It's going to do all these amazing things, but if they don't have their company really organized and understand their business, it's kind of, it can't do everything. You know, you have to really plan for it. So right now we've been coaching a lot of our customers to focus on their data, getting their data clean, their data structure clean. The more cloud accessible the data is, so if it's even stored in like a SharePoint, AI can interact with it a lot easier. So that's been really helpful. And also just getting them to understand their processes that they go through and trying to find those mundane, repeatable processes, because you need to know all those things before you go adopt the AI so that you can train the AI to do those things. So really, it's a lot of prep work right now, getting ready for it. I definitely suggest people do a survey also. Because if you don't think your employees are using AI, they probably are. And if you do a survey to find out, you would probably be surprised. Every single one of our customers that did the survey, they're like, oh, maybe one person uses AI in our company. It was like half the staff.
So let's for the sake of kind of helping people understand what we're talking about here, because the term AI is thrown around ubiquitously, right?
Yeah.
But it's really not a singular thing, right? It's made up of a confluence of different apps that each perform a different sort of function, if you will.
There's agents and large language models and all kinds of fun things. I suggest people get started with chatbots. So ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Grok, all the big, paid for services that you can get. You want to pay for it too, because then it protects your data. If you don't pay for it, your data is just out there in the wind, and you don't want people plugging in financials into a free AI model. You want to pay for one. But yeah, I suggest they get started with chatbots and talk to it like it's a person. Don't think of it like a Google search. Most people I see when they're just getting started, they just type in like what they would put into a Google search bar. That's what they're putting into the AI. But if you treat it like it's another person, like an expert sitting on the other end, and actually talk to it and give it all the details and really work through the problem with it, you can come up with some really amazing answers.
I mean, for a lot of businesses, right, it's hard to kind of figure out, okay, what is that? Where's the rubber hit the road in terms of what am I going to use AI for that's going to either offset a cost or generate revenue, right?
Yeah.
What is your advice in terms of where a business needs to look first? And you mentioned it earlier, I think, a lot of that repetitive sort of stuff, but I mean, talk a little bit about that.
So if you try to just do it on your own and piece AI together, so there's a thing called agents, and you can train agents to do specific tasks over and over again. It gets very complicated really quick, and it could be a big pain. So what I've suggested, because most AAA software providers are already starting to incorporate AI right into their software for you, that's one of the easiest ways to get started. So like, let's say you're using QuickBooks. QuickBooks has now added AI into QuickBooks. Practice with that. Use the ones that come with Microsoft. So the Microsoft Copilot, because it works right in your Word, right in your Excel, right in your Outlook. And that's the easiest way to get started. As far as like making money, it's hard to quantify because it's more like a time saver. So if time is money, like I had to make a PowerPoint for something I was doing for the chamber even, and it took me 15 minutes, what normally would have taken me 2 or 3 hours to come up with all the text and the pictures that go on the PowerPoint. It gives me the things I should be saying on each slide. It sped up the process. I had to go back and edit it. But yeah, so it's a big time saver more than like, we're going to go use this to create $1 million in a week.
Sure.
Yeah. But if you have a lot of repeatable processes that happen on the computer, so like let's say you use like a Shopify and there's orders coming in and some human is having to sit there and process all those orders, you can get an agent to do that really easily. So take it and take that order, plug it into our CRM. It's just copying and pasting text most of the time. So an agent can do simple stuff like that. So you can streamline some really repetitive processes if they're kind of text-based or like web-based really easily. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do people get started? Like, how do they reach out to AlphaTech? Give us your website.
Yeah, so
contact info.
Yeah, our website's alphatechaz.com, so AlphaTechaz.com. Our phone number is 480-350-7170. Believe it or not, at my company, we all love to talk, so just feel free to call us. And then we're also going to be at the Mesa Tech event on the 18th of September.
I know, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a
Valley
booth.
Tech Expo.
Yeah, we're going to be there. We're going to have a booth, so we'll be
fun.
there.
Yeah. So what else would you like to talk about? What else is interesting to you? I mean, we can talk about
Want to talk about video games? Honestly, just helping people. We meet a lot of new customers all the time, and just going in there and seeing how they've been led astray, the messes they're in, or just the things that they've been looped into from somebody who didn't really know what they were talking about breaks my heart sometimes, because they think it's very expensive or very time consuming, and there's just so many simple things you can do to keep it streamlined and easy for everybody. So really, I just hope that people can get on board, not looking at technology as an evil, but it could really be your company's superpower if you embrace it properly. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jared, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, this is fun.
Fantastic
Thanks.
to have you. We'll have you back. We'll get you back on here. We'll talk some video games.
I'm around. I'm going to chamber events and stuff.
We'll do a video game edition, I think.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
All right. Well, so this has been the Inside Business Podcast at the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. I am your host, Bob Nelson. And anytime you want to listen to past episodes of this podcast, they are available wherever fine podcasts are made available. So hope you have a great time. We'll talk to you soon, and take care.
This has been a Mesa Chamber of Commerce Inside Business Podcast. You can find all podcast episodes at iTunes, Spotify, or your own favorite podcast website. You can also find them online at mesachamber.org. Content of this podcast is copyright the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, unless otherwise noted.